Hello everyone, my name is Paula and today I'm going to be showing you how to do this beautiful explosion box. I'm going to be using papers by K&C Essentials, Showering Nature, which is this one here. And I'll also be using Stories of the Wild, and I'm going to be using these papers here. It's the one with the little girl. I'm going to be using this one for the sentiments, and this one for the deer and the bird up here, and this beautiful orange color for the side panels. Okay, we're also going to need 3 sheets of white paper, which is going to be the base for the box. And we're also going to be using the beautiful ephemera that Eva has designed. Okay. The ephemera comes from the Stories of the Wild. We're going to be using this one with the heart on the trunk. Stories of the Wild SW014. We're going to be using a few pieces from here. This little log cabin for the windows and the door for the little mushroom house. The butterfly. One of the flowers, I think it's one of these. The flowers with the little dragonfly. Okay, and then we're also going to use Stories of the Wild SW013, and we're going to use the little bear here with the flower, and this little one here. Okay, so you're going to need all 3 in order to create this if you want to do it exactly the same. We're then going to put the 12 by 12 white piece of paper on our scoreboard, and we're going to score at 4 inches. We're going to turn the paper, score at 4 inches, turn the paper again, score at 4 inches, and one last time, turn the paper and score at 4 inches. Okay, what we're going to do then is cut all the corners out. Using your favorite scissor, we're going to cut to the score line in all of the corners. I like these long scissors because it makes it so much easier to cut through. And you can basically do it on swoop. Okay, so we're cutting the 4 corners after we scored it, which is going to give us our base for the box. Okay, if you want, you can just fold in all the scored lines so we can start giving the box definition. Out of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, I'm going to cut it at 6 by 6. And right now what we're doing is making the top of the box. Okay, and we're gonna score at 1 inch and 5 inches. And we're gonna flip the paper, and again we're gonna score at 1 inch and at 5 inches. We're then gonna cut and give it a little extra cut so it can fit well. Okay, we're just gonna cut all 4 sides. Doing the little notch there. And this one again. Okay. And here we can just reinforce all the sides where we scored. Okay. And then as you can see, it's starting to take shape where it's going to become the top of our box. Okay. To make these side panels, the ones that flip out, we're going to need 2 8x8 pieces of paper. So we're going to cut 8 by 8. You're then going to score at 4 inches. We're then going to flip it and score again at 4 inches. Once we have scored 4 and 4 inches, we're going to try to make a triangle here. Try to get it as close as you can. And we're going to score right in the middle. Okay, we're going to score right in the middle, and then when you open it back up, you'll be able to push this in on the sides. Same thing with this one. We're going to reinforce the score lines, and there goes our pop out panel. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the other one. So once again, we're going to score at 4, flip it, score at 4 again. Once we have that, we're going to make a triangle. Try to get all the corners lined up. Okay, and then we're going to score down the middle. Once we have everything scored, I'm going to come back in. You can just press it, try to mold it, you know, with your fingers, so that way it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, same thing with this one. And then once again, we'll reinforce that, and there goes the other side. Okay. We're going to need another piece of 8.5 by 11 to do this little flip here, and we're going to cut the corner also. So this is going to be 4 by 8. Okay, 4 by 8, and then we're going to score on the 8-inch side. We're going to score at 4. And 4 is the score, and we have our little flip panel. Remember how we cut these squares out of the 12 by 12? Well, we're going to use that in order to do our little corner, our little side pocket. Okay, so all I'm doing is putting it on the cutting board from one corner to the other. Okay, try to make sure that's as straight as possible, and we're going to cut at an angle. Okay, and that right there is going to be our little pockets for the side. Okay, so at this point we've got our side panels that flip. We have our little corner pocket here, as well as our little flip. We have made the cuts for all of that. Now I'm going to cut the designer paper. Using Showery Nature 3 by KNC Essentials. And it's the light purple with the flowers. It's such a beautiful paper. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to cut that at 4 by 8. Okay. Then again, I'm going to cut that at 4 inches. Just so I can stay with the same pattern. Okay. And I'm going to do that little trick once again, where I'm going to line up the corners on the cutting board, and I'm going to cut that on an angle. Okay, so make sure you keep those together, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to cut on an angle. And we're going to try to keep our pattern. Now I'm going to use the Dimension Stories of the Wild paper to get this little deer on the corner. I'm going to cut that. So I'm going to try to measure it up to the little feet there, so I can center it out and get most of him on the square. Okay, I'm going to then flip the paper around, and I'm going to go to 4 inches. And a little bit of, it's going to come off from the top, but that's okay. We can get the gist of it like that. We're then going to cut again at 4 inches, and we'll get our square. Okay, and we're going to also use this paper for the other side, so we can right away cut this at 4 inches as well. Okay, and I think we'll have 3 other pieces. Okay, now we're going to cut out this little bird. I'm also going to go to 4, and I'm going to use this so that way I can have a little bit more paper to use if I don't have to, like this side. So I'm going to try to save it so I can use the long piece later on. So I went to 4 inches there, and then again from 4 I'm going to cut up. Okay, and that gives us the little square. Now we have cut that up, and we'll be able to use this paper for something else. Actually, because I do want the little border, the little white border, I'm going to cut it down a little bit more. So this is going to be 3 7/8, doing the same thing all around. 3 7/8. And 3 7/8. Okay. And this piece that was left over, we're also going to cut it at an angle, because we're going to put that on the other side of our panel. Okay, so this is going to go with this one, and this is going to go on the left side with the rest of our cuts. This piece that we have left over, I'm going to cut that at 4 inches this way. I'm just going to flip the paper around so I can get that side. Okay, so 4 inches. And then I'm just going to cut from the bottom up. Okay, and then remember, we're going to do a little 3 7/8 so we can get that border around. Okay. That one's done already. And then we're going to put this on the bottom, so it's going to go like that. Okay. And what I'll do next, using nature, stories of the wild, I am going to cut off the little sayings so we can add that to our explosion box. I hope you guys are liking this tutorial so far, and that I've explained everything well. However, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out. So I have this one here that I used on one of the sides, Naturally Beautiful. And then I also used this one, Earth Wonders, Natural Beauty. And I also used Morning Kisses and Midnight Hugs. I love me some Morning Kisses and Midnight Hugs. So this one was definitely a must on my little album. So in order to do the covers for our box, okay, as well as the top, we're going to use this paper that's called Getaway of Stories of the Wild. Okay, now this one is going to be a little complicated to cut because we're getting like different sections of this paper, so I'm going to try to do my best to replicate the cuts from that I had before. Okay, so we're going to cut this, one of the corners again, we're going to cut it at 3 5/8. And again, I'm going to flip that and cut it at 3 5/8. Okay. Oh no, I cut the little bunny. Oh, I feel terrible. I cut the little bunny's head off, but what are we going to do? We're just going to go roll with it. And I think what I'm going to do this time is kind of just measure out the middle here and just cut it by hand. And I'm just going to cut it like that. so that way I don't mess it up again. And I try to center the house as much as I could. Okay, so there goes that. We'll put this one on, but we'll cover it up with the one of the ephemeras. We'll cover it up with the bunny. Okay, so no big deal. But I just wanted to leave this on so you know that we make mistakes sometimes, but there's always a way to fix things. And I'm going to do the same thing with this piece here. I'm just going to try to get that. We're going to just get a little bit of the tree and that butterfly there. Okay. I'm just going to try to center that as much as I can. And cut it with the scissors. And there we go. That's another side panel. And I'm going to do the same thing with this last panel here. Now if you're using different paper, remember this is going to be a lot more easier because you're not trying to get the same pattern. Okay, so we're done with our panels for the front of the exploding box. Now this last panel here is from the 6x6 Stories of the Wild. I just don't have enough of that paper, so we'll figure something out for this. But if you have the paper, remember, just cut 4x4 and cut that in half. Now we're going to cut at 3 3/4 from that same paper. 3 3/4. This is the layer from the front box, and we're going to use that same strip and cut at 3 3/4. And I'm just going to continue cutting by scissors. Okay, we're going to need 4 of those, and that strip is only going to get us 3 layering pieces, so we're going to use this other one here. Okay, same thing, I'm just using the scissors. I'm going to cut that off. And the reason I'm doing it like this is because it's not that sharp. My cutter's not that sharp, so I'd rather just use the scissors. Okay, so we have our 3 side panels as well as the top of the box, and we're going to start decorating soon. So that's the top of the explosion box. That's going to be the cover. Okay, and then we have a piece to layer it with pattern paper. It's going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, that's going to be layered here, and then our little side panels, that is 7/8 by 3 3/4. Okay, so we're going to layer all the pieces down and glue them down. I'm going to glue all the panels. I'm going to glue the panels down. I'm just gonna do all 4 of them. At once. I don't want this one to dry up too quickly, but I think I still have time to just try to center that as much as you can. And glue your side panels. Try not to glue them too close to the score line, okay? Okay, there we go. Glued everything down. And for this, we're going to use this shaker part here, as well as one of the little flowers. I cut a piece of acetate that I'm going to glue back here, so that way we can make this into a shaker window, okay? I'm going to put the glue here, and not directly on the acetate. And slowly I'm going to place this down here. And I can just slowly kind of push that down. Okay, I think I got a little bit on the other side, but once again, that's not a big deal. We can wait for it to dry, and we can erase that. There's an eraser, or we can just clear it off like this. Okay, that's not a big deal at all. Once it's dry, now we're going to put the foam on top so we can make it into a shaker. Okay, so basically I'm just going around the heart. I'm going to cut that off there. And just put it all around the heart. Okay, sometimes it's easier to take this layer off so it can be a little bit more malleable. You can do like the little corners, not corners, but like the little round areas of it. Okay, and I'm just going to do that. Cut it off there, or I can even cut it off here because we want to have the foam on all of it so it can be evened out. Okay, so I'm just going to put more foam. And that way it's going to turn into our little shaker. Okay, put it like that, a little flower there, and I'm going to put the shaker pieces there. I'll put them, these are little glass beads that I have, but you can use anything to do your little shaker here. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to peel this other side, and then I'm slowly going to try to center it so that way it can be nicely centered. That looks about right, and I'll just push everything down, make sure everything is glued to the paper. There's our little shaker window. Okay, so that's how I got that done. And then lastly, we're just gonna glue everything on the side here. Okay, I'm gonna glue all the corners. We can do 2 at a time. Make sure that sticks nice there. And then we'll do it again on the other side. Okay. So now we have our little box cover. Okay, that's all set and ready to go. Let's decorate our little pop-up side panel. Okay, so here we've already cut. Remember to keep the pattern together. So basically we're just going to glue those there. And these two on the side. So in order to get our little white border all around, we're going to do 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 all around, okay? And we're just going to glue everything down. Once again, make sure you center that so you can get the nice little white border. And try not to get it close to the score lines. Okay, I'm going to glue everything down. Just like that. And we're going to do the same thing with these. I'm just going to put the glue on all of them at once. And then glue all of them down. Same thing with this side. And then again on this end. Okay. So we have our little panel done so far. We're going to use one of the ephemera pieces to glue this on here. Okay, and on this side we're going to use this little one here. Okay, they're all cuties, so you can use anything you want. And I just leave it a little bit without glue on the top, so that way you can stick your picture or whatever else you'd like to stick on here. Okay, so leave it like that. So this side panel is done. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. So we'll do the same thing on the other panel. I'm going to glue everything down. Same thing, make sure you glue everything down. all four corners. And this last one here. Okay, we'll glue that down. This one. So once again, you can use this. You can use this pattern, or you can cut out, you know, other papers from the collection. This is really completely up to you. But I know some of you guys wanted to see how it looks the way that I made it. So you'll be able to see that here. Okay, and then this last one we'll glue right here. Okay, so that's our panels complete. Okay, once again it goes like that, and this one as well. And I'll bring up the covers for these in a little bit while we put everything together. Okay, so this is the panel here that's going to be glued onto here. Okay, so this closes out like that, and this one is going to go on the front here. Okay, so we'll glue that one down. Right here. And the other side panel is going to go here. It's going to open up towards the top. So we're going to glue this one right here. Okay. So we'll glue that one on that corner. Just like that. You see how it's taking shape now? This goes there. Now we'll do the little flip book that goes on the bottom. So we'll glue this one down here. Okay, see that? And we're going to use this ephemera piece and put the foam all over it, but I'm not going to take the foam on from all the sides because I want to put a picture in there. So I'm just going to remove it from two of the sides, that way later on I can put my picture there. Okay, and I'll put that right in the middle. Then later on I'll just be able to put my picture there and then seal it. Okay, and then this is going to be glued down just like that. For the top for the top panel, I'm going to glue this one down. And for the pocket, I'm just going to put glue on the sides here. Okay, so not on the long side, just on the little short sides here. And really it's just a little strip of glue that's going to go down. Okay, we're going to glue just that. Towards the bottom. And that's going to give us our pocket. Okay, and that's where we're going to put our little bear. Again, that's part of the ephemera. So cute. He looks adorable. Okay, and this is our pocket here. Okay, we're almost done. We're gonna cut 4 pieces of string that measure 5.5 inches long. And before gluing our panels down, we're gonna put the glue just like that, so that way we can sandwich it between, and it can give it more of a stability, so that way they don't come off. Okay, so if you want to, you can use a piece of washi tape to hold them down. I'm just gonna use the glue. Okay, we're gonna try to get that as centered as possible. And same thing with this one. Try to get that as centered as possible. And then we're gonna glue the whole part of this bottom down. Okay. We're gonna try to center that as much as we can with the bottom. Okay. Make sure you wait for that glue to dry. And that way we have our little string to tie it down. Okay. Isn't that adorable? I love how that looks. If you want to cut the string a little bit longer, you can, but I thought this size is perfect. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Try to put the glue towards the middle. And this one as well. And then we're going to glue this other panel down. And that's going to go on this side. And remember, try to center that as much as you can. I'm just going to push down where the strings are, so that way it can glue really nicely. Once you have that, you can tie it up. Okay, so like I was saying, you can make it a little longer, the strings, if you want, or you can leave it. I'm having a little trouble doing this, but with a little patience, there is no problem with it. Okay, so there you go. Now we're gonna glue this panel down towards the bottom. And try to center that as much as possible. Okay, so that opens up like that, and you can put your picture or anything you want here as well. Okay, so far we have the inside of the panel. Now we're gonna do our this is gonna be the front of the box. And I know some of the pictures look upside down, but that's because, remember, this is going to go flip up, okay? So I'll show you the end result in a minute. And once again, this is, I'm showing it to you like this because it's a specific way that I cut out the papers. But if you just are doing plain paper and you're, using ephemera to decorate it, then it's going to be much easier for you just to, glue the papers down, okay? But like I said, because I'm doing it a specific way, I'm showing it to you this way, okay? And then this last one here. And we're almost done. This one goes back here. Okay. So we flip it around. We close it up. And we just get the cover for it. And we get the cover. Hold on. So it's just a little hard to close it, but oh, it's the wrong cover. Hold on for a second. We'll be able to close. Okay, I think I got it now. So we'll be able to close our little box. Okay, that's how it looks on all four sides. We'll finish it off by gluing down the little sayings here. Once again, I just put the glue down towards the bottom so that way you can fit another picture or anything else you'd like to fit there. And this one goes up here. Okay, once again, that's really it. This cut file is from the Silhouette store. You can find that there. And what I did, if you can see on the sides, I was able to cut this little house out, the log cabin I should say, and got the little doors, or I cut the door I think from one of these panels here, and then the windows there. Okay, and again the butterflies from the ephemera pack, and this one is here. I just cut out the flowers on top, and then same thing with this little mouse. It's right here. Okay, so once that's done, you can cut that out, and we just have one more panel here. So I'm just gonna glue that down, and we are all done. Okay, we'll close this one back up. Tie our little bow. Okay, and that's really it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. So I'll just show it to you again. A little shaker, the sides. Okay, I put a little bow there to signify the front. Then here we go. Open up the panel here, and it opens up like that, and you can see the four beautiful corners there. Same thing with this side. It opens up like that. Here we have a little pocket, And then this one opens up like that. Okay, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Bye bye.